Hello children. So today we are going to start our maths class. Before we go to our maths class, let's revise the things that we have done in our previous classes. So in our previous classes we have started with our exercise 3.6 and under 3.6 we have done some simplification, and that simplification dealt with addition of rational expressions with like denominator and also unlike denominators. And also we have seen subtraction of rational expressions with like denominators and unlike denominators. For like denominators, the sum was very simple. Just we have to bring the numerators together and take the denominator common, and we have to simplify the sum. If it is for unlike denominator, we have to make the denominator like, and then we have to continue with our sum. So we have completed our sum number 1 and sum number 2. And sum number 3 was homework from exercise 3.6. Today we are going to start from sum number 5. And sum number 4 again is your homework, since that sum number 4 is based on the identity. Apply the identity and try to do the sum. Okay children, now let's go to our class. See the 5th question. So you take your classwork, write down today's date, write sum number 5, take down the question. If a is equal to 2x plus 1 upon 2x minus 1, b is equal to 2x minus 1 upon 2x plus 1, find 1 upon a minus b minus 2b upon a square minus b square. Take down the question properly. Okay. Yes, everyone have you taken the question? Well, let's start with the answer part. So now here a is given to us, that is a is equal to 2x plus 1 upon 2x minus 1, and b is given to us, that is 2x minus 1 upon 2x plus 1. So now what we are going to find over here, it's 1 upon a minus b minus 2b upon a square minus b square. So now what we are going to do is, we are not going to simplify a and b directly over here. We are going to simplify this part, and after simplification we are going to substitute the value for a and b. So let's start with our sum. Let's take the find part. 1 upon a minus b minus 2b upon a square minus b square. Just see the simplification children over here. So the first part remains the same, that is 1 upon a minus b minus, keep the numerator part as it is. Now it's a square minus b square. As we have seen the identity, a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. So a square minus b square changes to a plus b into a minus b. Use your capital A and B. A plus b into a minus b. Okay, now just see the denominator. Now this denominator is of the type unlike denominator. See the denominator over here is a minus b. The denominator over here is a plus b into a minus b. So what is extra over here? The extra part is a plus b. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to multiply by a into b to the first part. So whenever you change the denominator in the first part, the numerator also should be changed. So let's do the changes. This is equal to 1 into a plus b upon a plus b into a minus b minus 2b upon a plus b into a minus b. Here no changes is done. This part, second part is kept as it is. So we are just changing the first part. We are changing the first part so that we get a like denominator. So let's work on it. So what do you get when 1 into a plus b becomes a plus b minus 2b. This I am taking the numerator part together. Now the denominators are same, so I am just going to write the denominator together. So it becomes a plus b into a minus b. Now let's see how to simplify. So a plus b minus 2b. So A is alone, so no changes over here. So this becomes A. B minus 2B gives you minus B upon A plus B into A minus B. So now what is common in the numerator and the denominator part? A minus B. Cancel A minus B and A minus B. And what's left? 1 upon A plus B. So this is what we get when we simplify the find part. It is 1 upon A minus B minus 2B upon A square minus B square changes to 1 upon A plus B. We have not entered into our sum part. We have just simplified the answer that we have to find. So now we are going to substitute the value for A and B over here. So now let's substitute the So before you write 1 upon A plus B, you just find A plus B. So I'm going to write over here A plus B is equal to 2x plus 1 upon 2x minus 1 plus, what's B? 2x minus 1 upon 2x plus 1. So we have done the substitution for A and B. Now let's see how to add this expression. Now just check the denominator part. The denominator parts are different. Yes, for the first part is 2x minus 1 and for the second sub part it is 2x plus 1. So now what we can do is we can just cross multiply and we can make the denominator common. So let's go for the step. It's 2x plus 1 into 2x plus 1. The main sign is plus. 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1 upon 2x minus 1 into 2x plus 1. I hope the step is clear to you. I'll repeat the step once again for you. It's 2x plus 1 into 2x plus 1. What's the main sign over here? Plus. So 2x minus 1 into 2x minus 1 upon 2x minus 1 into 2x plus 1. So let's open the bracket and let's get the answer. 2x into 2x. What's 2x into 2x? 4x square. 2x into 1 plus 2x. 1 into 2x plus 2x. 1 into 1 plus 1. It's a sign here. Plus sign is present, so there is no problem. No sign is going to change. So you can just continue your sum. But if it's a negative sign, you have to be very careful with the second part. Because if you have negative sign as common, for the second part the sign will change. So when you have a negative sign over here, put the terms in term. That is, you have to write the terms in bracket so that you don't get any confusion. So now let's go for the second part. I just give you some time, complete the second part. Multiply 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1 and get the answer. Okay, let's do the sum. Just check where you have done the sum. Just check your answers. 2x into 2x. 4x square, okay. 2x into minus 1, minus 2x. Minus 1 into 2x, minus 2x. Minus 1 into minus 1. Minus 1 into minus 1 gives you plus 1. So plus 1 upon, no need to simplify the denominator part. If you, what we can do over here, okay, if we want to, okay, we'll simplify it, no problem. The simplification part, we have just kept the denominator part as it is. So now here, let's simplify it. So 2x into 2x gives you 4x square. 2x into 1 plus 2x. Minus 1 into 2x minus 2x. Minus 1 into 1 plus. Oh, just here. Minus 1 into 1 gives you minus 1. Be careful. Minus 1 into 1 is plus 1 or minus 1, it's minus 1, only one negative sign. So the answer is minus. If 2 negative sign, plus. 3 negative sign, minus. 4, plus. It goes on. Okay. So now let's bring all the like terms together and try to simplify the numerator and the denominator. So let's have a check. So 4x square plus 4x square gives you 8x square. Then next 2x minus 2x, 2x minus 2x. In simple we can say 4x minus 4x, it gets cancelled, yes. So now what else is left there? A constant term is present in the numerator, that is 1 and 1. So 1 plus 1 gives you 2. So you get 8x square plus 2 upon. Just check for the denominator part, children. Plus 2x and minus 2x gets cancelled. So what is left over here? 4x square minus 1. So we have found our a plus b. So we can have one more step, is that is we can take common what in the numerator part. That is 2 can be taken common in the numerator part. We take 2 common over here, and what's left over here? 4. 2 4s are 8. Yes, so 4x square plus 1 upon. Nothing is taken common, yes. So I just keep it as it is. That's 4x square minus 1. And one more thing, children, do not cancel the numerator part and denominator part. Just see here, maybe the terms are same. There is 4x square and 1, 4x square and 1. But see the sign over here. Numerator part contains the positive sign and the denominator part contains the negative sign. So we cannot cancel the numerator part and the denominator part. They are different. So now what we have found is, we have found a plus b. But that is not the required answer. The required answer is 1 upon a plus b. That's what we need. So you just say over here, I'll rub the first part. I hope you have taken the sum. Okay. So let's start over here. See. So therefore, that is from here. That is therefore 1 upon a minus b. I just mention here, since 1 upon a minus b minus 2b upon a square minus b square is equal to 1 upon a plus b. This is what the required answer is, 1 upon a plus b. The required answer becomes, okay. That is what is the question. The question says to find out this part. So therefore, required solution is equal to 1 upon a plus b. What is a plus b, children? It's 2 4x square plus 1 upon 4x square minus 1. So now it's 1 upon, yes. So 1 upon, in the sense what happens? The denominator part goes to the numerator and the numerator part remains in the denominator. So you get 4x square minus 1 upon 2 4x square plus 1. So this is the required solution. 4x square minus 1 upon 2 4x square plus 1. Take down the sum. Okay, done. So let's go for the next sum. Take down the next question. So we are going to do the fifth sum now. Fifth sum we have done. Yes, children, we have completed the fifth sum. So now we are going for the sixth sum. If a is equal to x upon x plus 1, b is equal to 1 upon x plus 1, prove that a plus b the whole square plus a minus b the whole square upon a divided b is equal to 2 x square plus 1 upon x into x plus 1 the whole square. So a value is given to you, b value is given to you, and you are going to prove LHS is equal to RHS. So have you taken down the question? Okay, let's start with the answer part. Okay, let's write the given part. What is given? Sum number 6. Given, you have to copy the question and then you have to go with the answer part. A is equal to x upon x plus 1. b is equal to 1 upon x plus 1. b is equal to 1 upon x plus 1. Now what we have to prove over here? Write on the proof part over here. To prove a plus b the whole square plus a minus b the whole square. A plus b the whole square plus a minus b the whole square upon a divided b is equal to. Do the steps along with me. Follow my steps. Is equal to 2 x square plus 1 upon x into x plus 1 the whole square. Check whether you have taken the proper statement. What's the proof part? A plus b the whole square plus a minus b the whole square upon a divided b is equal to 2 into x square plus 1 upon x into x plus 1 the whole square. Okay, do not get scared of the sum. Okay, the sum looks little bigger, but it's not. When you follow the step, the sum becomes simpler. So just let's start with our step. So now what we are going to do, as we have continued our fifth sum, the same manner we are going to try to simplify the LHS part. And let's see what we get in the LHS part. So take down your LHS part. I'll say LHS is a plus b the whole square plus a minus b the whole square upon a divided b. Yes children, this was the LHS part. Now you're just going to substitute the value. Before we substitute the value, try whether something can be simplified or whether we can reduce the matter in the numerator part. So what do you get here? Let's open the expansions. A plus b the whole square. Just apply the identity that you have studied in your lower classes. And this is a very simple identity. Everyone remembers the identity? Okay, just say the identity. What is a plus b the whole square? Yes, a square plus 2ab plus b square. Very good. What is identity for a minus b the whole square? A square minus 2ab plus b square. Yes. And one more. What is a plus b into a minus b? A square minus b square. Let's put the expansion over here. A square, use capital letters, okay, because here they have used the variable capital A and capital B. So you have to use capital A and capital B. A square plus 2ab plus b square plus a square minus 2ab plus b square. I have told you, since the main sign is plus, nothing to worry. Just we can write the terms. But if it's a negative sign, we have to be very careful, because if the common sign, if the main sign is minus, the terms, that is the numbers after the negative sign or the terms after the negative sign changes. So just write down carefully upon a divided by b. Just keep it as it is. So now what can be cancelled here? Plus 2ab minus 2ab gets cancelled. Now what is left here children? A square plus b square plus a square plus b square. So what do you get here? A square plus a square gives you 2a square plus b square gives you 2b square upon a divided by b. So now what can be taken common in the numerator part? 2 can be taken common. Let's take 2 common out. So this is equal to 2a square plus b square upon a divided by b. So now what we are going to do is, just we have simplified the numerator part. It was a plus b the whole square plus a minus b the whole square. So now we have shrinked it to it as 2 into a square plus b square. Now we are just going to substitute the value that is given to us. So we'll write over here. I'll just continue over here. 2 a square is children. So be careful. I'm just using a square bracket over here. X upon x plus 1 the whole square plus b square. That's 1 upon x plus 1 the whole square. This is just in the numerator part upon a divided b. A is x upon x plus 1 divided by b. It's 1 upon x plus 1. So be careful when you are inserting the values. If you make mistake, everything goes wrong. So do the step very, very carefully. So it's 2a square. That's a square is x upon x plus 1 the whole square plus 1 upon x plus 1 the whole square upon x plus 1 divided by 1 upon x plus 1. Do the step one below the other with proper spaces. Do present your sums very carefully, very neatly. Okay, now let's go for the expansion. Let's see for the simplification part. So this becomes, now this is very easy, children. See now here what happens is, just keep 2 as it is. This is x, I'm just going to open the bracket, okay, just I'm going to open the square bracket. So what I get is x the whole square, so it becomes x square upon x plus 1 the whole square plus 1 square is 1 upon x plus 1 the whole square. I'm just giving the square for the numerator part as well as the denominator part. So 1 square upon x plus 1 the whole square upon. Now see the denominator part. This is the previous exercise. Already we have seen how to simplify the sum when we have a division sign. Yes, children? That is, the first part will be kept as it is. X upon x plus 1. Division will change into multiplication. Good. And what happens to the next part? That is 1 upon x plus 1 changes to x plus 1 upon 1. Be careful. This is very, very important one. We cannot do anything with the division sign. So what is your step? That is, the first part is to be kept the same. The division sign should be changed to multiplication sign. And we have to take the reciprocal of the next part, the second part. That is 1 upon x plus 1 changes to x plus 1 upon 1. Now let's go for the further simplification. Now see here, children, equal to 2. Since the denominators are same, that is, we are having a like denominators over here, we are going to take the numerators together. X square plus 1 upon x plus 1 the whole square. This is our numerator part upon. Now just see what happens for the denominator part. It's x upon x plus 1 into x plus 1 upon 1. X plus 1 gets cancelled, and what's left over here? Only x. X is left over here. Yes. So now just we are going to arrange it in a systematic form. It's in the numerator part itself we have a numerator and denominator form. Yes, children? So just we are going to make it as a single numerator and a single denominator. So let's see how to do the changes. So this becomes 2. See, this 2 goes for the numerator part. So you get 2 x square plus 1 upon, this part comes over here. So x into x plus 1 the whole square. So this was the answer. That's what, yes, that's what we have to prove. Yes. So we have arrived to the RHS part. So I just mentioned over here, this is equal to RHS. Hence, to prove. Yes. So hence proved. So I started with the LHS part and I got the answer that was to prove. That is, what was the thing to prove? That is, LHS should be equal to RHS, and our RHS was 2 x square plus 1 upon x into x plus 1 the whole square. So from LHS I have got the RHS. So we have proved the sum and we have got our answer. Take down the answer. Okay. Now take sum number 7. Let's go for sum number 7. Another question. It's a word problem type. So take down your sum number 7. This type of sum already we have done in our standard 8. So we have an idea about this sum. So just see, when you read your question, you can just go back to your 8th standard and just think whatever you have done related to this sum. So the question says, Pari needs, or Pari needs is P-A-R-I-S, so we'll read as Pari. Pari needs 4 hours to complete a work. His friend Yuvan needs 6 hours to complete the same work. How long will it take to complete if they work together? Do you remember this type of question? Yes, I hope that you have recollected the sums that we have done in our A standard. Yes, children? So, just read the question once again. Let's see what is given first of all. Pari needs 4 hours to complete a work. So, what's the time taken by Pari to complete a work? It's 4 hours. And what's the time taken by his friend? That is Yuvan. So, Yuvan takes 6 hours to complete the same work. It's the same work, okay? So there is no difference in the work. Pari is also doing the same type of work and Yuvan is also doing the same type of work. So, but there's a difference. Yes, Pari just completes in 4 hours and Yuvan just takes 2 more hours extra to complete the same type of work. So now what's the question? The question says that how long will it take to complete if they work together? So if Pari does separately, he is going to complete in 4 hours. And if Yuvan do it in a different manner, or if he does separately, he will be completing in 6 hours. So what happens if they come together and they do the work? So let's see what's the time taken by them to complete the work. So have you taken down the question? Take down the question properly and we have to go with the sum now. So we'll be writing the sum, but we'll be doing the sum in like a word problem type. So let's follow the steps. Coming to the sum number 7. So from the first statement, you can write time taken by Pari to complete the work. Time taken by Pari to complete the work. That's 4 hours. Okay, from the second statement, what do you get? His friend Yuvan needs 6 hours to complete the same work. So time taken by Yuvan to complete the work. 6 hours. Take down the statement. So now what we are going to do is we are going to change the time in terms of 1 hour. That is how will be the statement, you know. The statement changes as work done by Pari in 1 hour. So what will be the work done by Pari in 1 hour? Just select equal case. Yes. So what's the work done by Pari in 1 hour? It will be 1 by 4. It becomes 1 upon 4. And similarly, tell me the next statement. Yes. What's the statement? Very good. Work done by Yuvan in 1 hour. Work done by Yuvan in 1 hour. Or 1 hour. Yes, we say hour. Okay. It's 1 by 6. So we have got 4 statements. From the first 2 statement, we have got 4 statements over. The first one was time taken by Pari to complete the work. That's 4 hours. So the work done by Pari in 1 hour becomes 1 by 4. Time taken by Yuvan to complete the work is 6 hours. So in 1 hour, he takes 1 by 6. So now coming to the next statement. See, how long will it take to complete if they work together? So we have to just see that combination also. So before we go for that combination, take the next statement. Let time required to complete the work. So just we need to find, is it? So right, let time require to complete the work. See here, time taken by Pari 4 hours, time taken by Yuvan 6 hours. So now that's what we are saying here. The time required to complete the work is equal to x hours. Now what we are going to do, for time taken we have converted in 1 hour. Yes, children? Same thing we are just going to write in terms of 1 hour. So time required to complete the work in 1 hour. This becomes, can you give me the answer? Yes. Time taken by Pari 4 hours. Work done by Pari in 1 hour, 1 by 4. Similarly, time required to complete the work, x hours. So time required to complete the work in 1 hour, 1 by x. Yes. Statement is very, very clear. You just follow the statement and complete the work. Okay. Now, let's go with the sum part. What is the question? How long will it take to complete if they work together? They are going to work together and they are going to complete the work. Yes. So this becomes, so you say according to the condition, one by 4, that's work done by Pari, plus 1 by 6, work done by U1. Time required to complete the work is 1 by x. So just solve this expression and let's see what's the answer you get over here. So simplify 1 by 4 plus 1 by 6. So you get 6 plus 4, cross multiply. 1 6 are 6, 4 1s are 4, upon 24 is equal to 1 by x. So you get 10 upon 24 is equal to 1 by x. Simple. This I'm not doing, I'm just going very slowly, okay? So just cross multiply. 6 plus 4 upon 24 is equal to 1 by x. So 6 plus 4 is 10 upon 24 is equal to 1 by x. Cross multiply and try to get the value for x, children. So you get 10x is equal to 24. Therefore, x is equal to 24 upon 10. Therefore, x is equal to 2.4 hours. This 1 0 is. So you have to just place a decimal point before one number. It's 2.4 hours. This is not a final statement. We have to just go for one more step. Just take down the step till here. So x, what do you get? X is 2.4 hours. So the 0.4 is there. So I have to convert this in terms of minutes. Okay, children. So I have this cross here. This is 2 hours and 0.4 hours. So we are going to convert this 0.4 hours in terms of minutes. So let's see how to convert that hour in terms of minutes. So let's have a small table over here. This is a small table. So I'll be just writing here as hours and minutes. So write here hours and minutes. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. So now we have to find for 0.4 hours. So we have to convert 0.4 hours in terms of minutes. So write over here 0.4. But I don't know what's the answer in terms of minutes. So I just take that as x. Or here already x is used, children. So we can, instead of taking x, we can use some other variable. I'll take it as a. Actually, that is for rough part only, so we are not going to mingle over here. Anyhow, just do not get confused. Just go in a proper way. So already x is used, okay? So do not repeat x. Let's take a. So we have just made a table for hours and minutes. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. Now what is the thing is, we are going to find out what is 0.4. That is, we are going to convert 0.4 hours in terms of minutes. Let's see what to do. Just we have to use our unitary method over here. This already we have used, yes, in our proportion when we have studied our direct proportion and inverse proportion. So we have studied how to solve the table. So let's do the work. It's just simple. It's just cross multiply and get the answer. So it's 1 into a is equal to 0.4 into 60. So you get here 1 into a is equal to 0.4 into 60. So a is equal to, just multiply and get the answer. So you get 6 4s are 24 and you have one more 0 over here. And here's a decimal point, so you'll have a decimal point over here. So this is A is equal to 24 minutes. This is in terms of minutes. A comes in a minute. Yes, children? So A is equal to 24 minutes. So now we have we have got the required answer. So the answer turns to be X is equal to 2 hours 24 minutes. Okay. So now let's complete our final statement. So what was the thing? See, actually the work was done by two people. The time taken by Pari was 4 hours to complete the work, and time taken by Yuvan to complete the work was 6 hours. And the question was, what happens if they come together and do the work? So now, what's the time taken by both of them to complete the work? It's 2 hours, 24 minutes. So we have a progress. So if you do the work together, everything will be done in a good manner, and we have time also saved. It's just the sum talks about the unity. So let's follow the unity. So what we get over here? So let's write the final statement. Therefore, time taken by Pari and Yuvan to complete the work is 2 hours 24 minutes. Therefore, time taken by Pari and Yuvan together to complete the work is 2 hours 24 minutes. This is the difference. So see, there's a lot of differences. So he took 4 hours separately, he took 6 hours separately, but when they do the work together, it just completes in 2 hours 24 minutes. So we have seen sum number 7. I hope the sum was clear to you. It's very easy. This is small calculations, and also this type of calculations we have seen in our previous classes. So now one more thing is you have to just do one more sum as homework, that is sum number 8. So sum number 8 will be your homework. Just I have given you 2 sums for homework. There is sum number 4 and sum number 8. Try out the sum. I'll just mention over here the homework. So homework is sum number 4 and sum number 8. Try out the sum. You cannot say that I don't know any sum. You have to just refer your 9th books. This is nothing but just you have to use the identities that you have studied for the 4th sum. And the 8th sum is just follow the statement and try to get the just continue the sum in the word format. Just you have to put the sum in the word problem format and you have to complete the answer. So we have to just do 2 sums as homework. So your homework is sum number 4 and sum number 8. Take down the homework questions, children. Do not miss the homework questions. So have you taken down the answers? Okay. So we stop our class over here, and you have to do your homeworks and you have to submit whenever it's been asked. So keep your homeworks ready.